So for those who already have some kind of mindfulness or meditation practice, mostly it is for improving focus, concentration, uh, reduce stress levels, well-being, and so on. So first of all, let us understand why this thing actually happened in first place. So, for example, this is a business person or a manager. Now, there will be all kinds of different issues here, like business issues or finance or say team or staff or whatever. This could be like, management or shareholders and so on. Different kinds of issues will be there for this person. And that leads to creation of stress and the need for being more effective and learn all kinds of different skills to deal with different situations. That brings in basically the need of mindfulness and meditation. Now, let me for a moment think that if I can sell my share or resign from this position, then what can happen is I can come out of all these problems and become myself, right? Or I call it deep I, because this self is actually playing the role of this manager who has all these problems, right? Now, if it is possible for me to just resign or just sell the shares and come out of all the business issues and be happy here as myself, that means all the problems that I was thinking are my problems are not actually my issues. These are the issues of this position, right? And this position is interchangeable. Now, when we are into mindfulness, meditation, and so on, what we are trying to do is to slowly move our attention from this position into ourself. That's what we do in the meditation, right? Because our consciousness needs an anchor. And when we are not aware of this self, what happens is all our awareness is deeply involved in this position. And since our sense of self is then identified with this position, our mind, when it pursues issues for that position, our body doesn't understand whether these problems are for position or for myself. And the body reacts in the same way. It creates stress, it creates a surge of energy to deal with a situation, fight or flight response. Whereas the self has no issues. The issues are with the positions. And this is what in the meditation or mindfulness we learn to move our attention from complete identification with the position to our inner self, right? And when we do that, we feel relaxed because self has no issues. Issues are for the positions. And when we move our attention from the issues, from positions, and whatever the problems into breath or body or some other activity, we feel relaxed because then we are rooted in self and this self has no problem, right? So that's what we do in meditation. We basically move the anchor for our consciousness from a mind made identity into our real self. Now there is an issue with this. What's the issue? If I am doing meditation, I feel relaxed, but when I finish my meditation session, I go back to my position, the anchor is gone. The anchor is back again in the position, and all the issues and problems again come back. So what now I am trying to do is basically flip flop, go into meditation, feel relaxed, get some relief from the stress, then again come back and again get stressed, right? So a better way to deal with this situation is to be meditative while I am in the intense action, right? And that's possible when we are able to permanently disassociate a sense of self from our position as a manager and position's problem into our true self. So then it becomes evident to me that I am myself, I am going in the office and playing the role of a manager where there are so many issues. Because just imagine if I resign or I sell my share, what's going to happen is another person is going to manage that. So problems are still there with the position, but the person who has the problem has changed now. It's no more problem for me. So to do a permanent shift is a little bit process. A lot of people call it as awakening, or it's like becoming conscious. And to really be rooted in self while we are in action requires a lot of practice. So I can be very good at doing meditation, but what happens after the meditation session is more important for me. So to be meditative in the midst of intense action is what is the true meditative life, where we have our sense of self rooted in presence, and we can then use the power of presence, power of consciousness to deal with the challenges of the position, right? And so what we offer is a way where we deal with everyday situations, and we learn how these situations were able to pull our attention into the situations, into the mind made self from our inner self. And then by learning and by understanding how this works, we are able to at least know what is happening to us. And once we know what is happening and why we are getting stressed, then slowly over the time with practice, it's possible that we may be able to deal with situations while being rooted in steady wisdom or rooted in our true self. So that's what uh, we can do as a practice. And if what this will do is make a person more rooted in self and also more emotionally intelligent, because once there is a space between the position, challenges of the position, and sense of ourself from our true self, and this space gives allows us to feel and become aware of our emotions. And then instead of acting emotionally, we can act intelligently. That's called emotional intelligence, where we can use emotions such as fear or worry or sense of a danger, anger, and things like that to guide us and take effective and preventive actions for this, for dealing with these emotions. So as we dissolve these emotions by taking actions, for example, if there is a fear, emotion of fear in the position as a manager, we can realize that okay, there is a fear coming because something might go wrong, and so we can take preventive action instead of just being fearful. Or if there is a feeling of anger emotion, then that means like somebody has transgressed our boundary, and we can do something to reestablish that boundary and resolve those emotions, and be emotionally intelligent. So uh, becoming aware of who we are all the time and taking actions on our based on the emotions, being emotionally intelligent. And since we are rooted in presence, we can disassociate from the issues and problems. Mind can freely work, body won't respond and create a surge of energy as if the self is in danger. And so in a relaxed way we can deal with all the challenges of the position or the roles that we are playing. This is possible with a lot of practice, and in the sessions that we conduct, you can have private or you can have group sessions, and understand like how what's happening, how this is working, how strong is the momentum of these uh, positions, how strong is the impact, how strong is this gravitational pull, and it's just a question of becoming aware, so that pool of situation and the gravity of situation starts loosening up, and it frees us from uh, problems of getting stressed out and losing peace, or lack of focus, or uh, things like that, for which normally meditation can offer relief. So if you are interested in deepening your presence and using the power of presence in multiplying your success rate, your achievements, and things like that, get in touch with me, connect with me, and let us discuss how we can work on your situation and deepen your presence. Thank you.